Hello and welcome, I'm Asork, or otherwise known as Kev, and in this video I'm going to be talking about weapon balancing in Black Ops 3, so let's jump right into it. So, I finally managed to get my hands on Sony Vegas Pro 13, the latest one. So, yeah, things are going to be great, and we can do lots of videos, so that's awesome. And yes, it has taken me quite a while to get my hands on it. It's not exactly like it's a long job, or like a lot of stuff to do to get it. It's actually pretty easy, to be honest. It will probably take like an hour, maybe 2 hours if you count in my slow internet to download and install it. So yeah, that wasn't too bad, but it's just how much I put off work, which just extends how long it takes by a long amount of time. So yeah, I was just continuously thinking, oh, you know, it's okay, I can do that tomorrow or something like that, or I can do it on my day off, and on my day off I just want to play Xbox and things like that. So yeah, that's why it took me a bit of time for that, but it's okay, we are back in action, and oh my goodness, I am loving Black Ops 3. It's a very fun and enjoyable game to play, and I think I'm out of the honeymoon phase, and I'm just kind of in that phase now where I'm just sitting back and just playing the game for what it is and enjoying it, and I'm trying to keep things different so that way they don't get stale. And this gameplay here is with the XR2. It's pre-patch, because after this weapon balancing patch that has been dropped, I figured, well, you know, let's get rid of the older sort of gameplays, and this is actually a pretty old gameplay. It was when I just first prestiged, so I think I'll be going into my second prestige this weekend with a double XP and try and bust my way through quite a few levels of that. But yeah, so I was using the XR2. Very good gun, very good gun. It's I think it's a slightly bit too powerful, to be honest, but it's really inconsistent, I found, because, to be honest, quite a lot of the time, the effectiveness of this gun is determined by the range and how weak the enemy already is, because if the enemy's already weak, it might take as little just like one burst to the chest and they're down, they've hit the deck. That's as easy as that. But then sometimes not all of the burst hits them, so you've got to kind of fire, you know, 3, maybe even 4 bursts if your aim isn't great, or maybe if they're a try-hard and they're, you know, thrusting and jumping all around the place. So sometimes you got to allow for that, but generally it's a pretty darn good gun. Oh, nice little concussion kill there. I like using my concussions, but I don't really use any other tacticals in this game. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about weapon balancing, because that's really important in first-person shooter games, especially Call of Duty, because you can't exactly have a renowned god gun, and that means just everyone's going to end up using it. I feel as if the definition of a balanced game is when all of the weapons are overpowered, but in their own way. They're not necessarily all super overpowered. They all just kind of have their strengths and their weaknesses, but the strengths and the weaknesses kind of, you know, are scaled to each other. Alright, some machine guns are really good at close range, but once you get to longer ranges, the recoil, just that slight jump, becomes too much. Or the assault rifles, which, while they can have a lot better recoil control, they just can't seem to shoot as fast as the submachine guns. And that in its own way, that in its own right, is what I feel to be balanced, where there are strengths and weaknesses. And yes, the M8A7 was an absolute blunder, and it was extremely overpowered, but I think this is a really good step towards getting there. The Razorback, I feel as if it still needs a bit more of a kick to it. It just gets too many hit markers, in my opinion, to be that high level of a submachine gun, and yet not really be as good as other submachine guns like the VMP. So yeah, I feel as if, in general, the submachine guns could use a bit of more of a kick, but the Kuda, I think, is the only exception where it just slightly needs to be toned down, because it is a really good gun right now, and I'd highly recommend it. It's the base starting off submachine gun, extremely good gun, so I'd highly recommend using that while it's still slightly overpowered, because I feel as if it really stands out now compared to the other submachine guns, and it will probably end up getting nerfed soon in coming patches. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover for the latest weapon balancing patch. I hope you've all enjoyed this video, and I guess I'll catch you all on the next one. I've been Asork, or otherwise known as Kev, and I will see you all in the next episode.